Hey guys, I'm Meg and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my May Project Pan update. I believe I screwed up the month last month as in which update it was. But you know, I'm super all over the place today. This is the third time I've had to restart filming this video. So we're just going to skip intros and we're just going to go right ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my empties. This is one that I actually forgot in my last video to show progress on. Biggest issue with it was the fact that it had no progress to show. So this is the Olay Soothing Orchid and Black Currant Quench Body Lotion. It's an opaque package. This was brand new when I introduced it. I had two of these that I was using as a shaving lotion, and I just finished this 2 days ago. No, I finished this last night. And I was actually really excited because I had some progress things to show you guys for Project Pan, but I just finished this yesterday. I've said before when I was finishing up the other one that it was a lighter formula, which was great for using as a shaving lotion, but it wasn't so great as a moisturizer. But I did enjoy using this quite a bit as a shaving lotion. It worked really well. The other thing I have in my empties is my Coconut Miracle Oil dry shampoo from Organics. As you can maybe hear, it is empty. There's not really any air coming out of it anymore. I really enjoyed the smell of this. You guys know I didn't like the argan, I think it was the argan oil one. It was in the blue canister. You can see in my old videos my progress on the other one. I liked this scent a lot better. Did its job. Doesn't do enough for my greasy hair because usually by the time I'm dry shampooing it's been about 3 days. So I get really oily right in here, but if I try to use it too soon, it weighs my hair down. So those are actually the only products I had in my empties for this check-in. You can tell by the state of my face currently, like it's been a very light makeup month for me. I've got just a tiny bit of highlighter on here and some blush. And because I actually had to go out and be in public today, I put mascara on along with my concealer, but I haven't really been tapping into my makeup products that much. Everything else, though, I have been using or been trying to use quite frequently, but I haven't made a whole ton of progress, especially on things that should realistically have been used up this month. For, you know, to start as a perfect example, this. And actually, hold that thought, let me go grab it. Okay, as a perfect example to start with, this and this, these are both Cashmere Glow from Bath & Body Works, and I had taken this with me when I was traveling at the end of March. So this was about half of this. And I mean, there's not a lot left in either of these. I've just been really lazy about using my moisturizers. Not for any other reason other than by the time I'm showering and getting ready to go to bed, so like putting on pajamas and stuff, I am so tired. I don't really have a regular work schedule. So by the time I'm getting home, sometimes I am freaking exhausted. And by the time I'm done with my shower, I just want to go to sleep. So I have been skipping that section of my routine. I've been trying to be better about it, but that's where we're at with those right now. Another thing I have made barely any progress on is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Brightening Eye Perfector, which I showed you guys in the last check-in, and you can see in comparison to my skin right here, it is not my shade. It's good for light concealers, basically trying to match them a little bit better to my skin tone, but I have not used this much because it doesn't play nicely with my my cream concealer from Collab. So I'm keeping this in. It's not going to get much use out of it until we eliminate the Collab concealer. Other than that, I can show you guys some progress on my, actually let's go ahead and show you the progress on the Collab concealer. This is where we're at. And as you can see, I can no longer twist this up, twist down, but that's all that's left in it. Considering how much I dislike this concealer, I am just gonna be safe and call this done. You guys heard me talk about this in the last so many videos. The formula just does not play nicely on my skin. I have it on today. It barely is doing anything. Like, you can still see dark circles right here. It breaks up quite a bit. It doesn't set properly. Even when it sets, it cakes up, breaks up. It doesn't look good. So we're gonna I'm gonna go ahead and call this done. I love that you just see little cat butt over here. Just as a real quick aside, you guys can see that we are in a completely different setup, and that's because we are in a more permanent filming setup, so apologies for anything that's going on right here. I've been cleaning my room up, but my room actually has a better backdrop with my curtains and stuff, but as you can see, the cats like to play behind the curtains, so that's actually what that was. Lucy likes to sit back there and just chill in the window, and Penelope likes to mess with her, which is how my curtains got knocked down and my curtain rod nearly broke the other day. But so if you see movement going on back there or anything crazy, it's probably the cats messing around. I normally close my door when I film to avoid that, but Penelope was, you know, asleep right here, and I didn't feel like trying to wrangle them out of my room. So please ignore any cat shenanigans that are happening. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna just completely eliminate the Collab concealer. It is considered done in my book. It's not done. Like, I can still get product out of it, but I am just gonna call it done. That's why it wasn't in the empties. But it is being eliminated from my project pan. I am going to add in the cost of it into my spending sheet and how much product I've used in my empties. And I'm gonna go ahead and throw it into the empties bin. So, other than that, we're still chugging away on the Profusion eyeshadow primer. Like I said last video, I do actually enjoy this a lot. I could only get it in sets now, but I do have another one of these. This one's still just feeling pretty full. So we're going to keep using that until I can't get any product out of it anymore. I may pull the stopper, but because I have a secondary one, it might not be necessary. Aside from that, I have my eyeshadow palettes, which not much has changed except for right in here. I did end up making a Frankenshadow with the two eyeshadows there that did not work for my skin tone. It's kind of a nice, pretty taupey brown now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, you can. That's really nice. It's kind of a sable-y, you know, just pretty taupe brown shade. So I've been using that, but like I said, it's been a light makeup month. I don't think I've worn makeup more than a dozen times this month, maybe, and that's being generous. I don't know what it is. I guess I've just kind of been in a weird place. I just haven't felt like wanting to put makeup on. That's a whole other story, but that's where we're at with this. I did add in this little Ulta eyeshadow palette that I have had for ages in here. I have actually used this shade quite a bit. In the days that I was wearing makeup, I was wearing this quite a bit. You can kind of see how big of a divot there is in that little corner there. Like, it's hard to see. They all had dips in them in the first place, but that one's got more of a dip in it, and even if I can just use that up, that is significantly more use than this palette has seen in a long time. So that was really the point of throwing this in here, was I wanted to get to using this a little bit more, and you know, trying to use some of it up. I mentioned before too that Bayou here is absolutely one of my favorite shades. I have been looking for dupes for it for a long time. That's actually how I found the ColourPop Sugar Shadow. I just like that pop of like muted, dusty, pale blue. It looks really nice just as like an inner corner highlight. It's just that little extra pop of color that I like sometimes when I'm doing a lot of neutrals. Just something to make it a little more fun. But that's where I'm at with my eyeshadows. Blush has been moving along pretty nicely. This is still the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush in Baby Blossom. And according to this, it's a cool toned pink, but you can see here I've made quite a bit of progress on this from the last few times I did a check-in. It was brand new when I first started using it. Last month we had already put quite a dip in it. It has been broken and repressed in that time. But at this point I'm thinking I'm going to have to scrape it all out of the container again and repress it into the center to try to get more use out of it. Because currently right now trying to get the brush in there, it's breaking it off of the edges and chunks are coming out of it. Which it's a little bit of a waste of product at that point. So I'm going to try to repress that into the middle, but we're still trucking along on that. I'm pretty excited to see that this is almost gone. It typically takes me about 3 months to use up a blush because I like to blush. Usually the colors I choose are pretty close to my natural flush anyway. Please excuse the state of my skin. This is worse than I think we've ever seen it. It's kind of partially why I've been on more of a makeup break, but you can see that I've got blush on, but it's closer to my natural flush, so I just can't go wild with it, which means my blushes get used up pretty quickly. I did like this color a lot, but I don't know that I'm going to repurchase this once it's gone. Formula is a little powdery, a little chalky. When you try to use it, you know, you can see right there, it's a little chalky. But beautiful color, you know, it's just, I don't know what else to say about it. It just wasn't great. My perfume was the little sample size of the Indigo by Nest. And we can see that line up top there. Is where I started, and you can see it's gone down a little bit, but I think I've only used this 3 or 4 times this month. I don't know, it's been a weird month. I do really like that scent. It's just, I just haven't been reaching for it. The Nativa Jamaica perfume that I had shown in the last check-in, it was a sample size from Scentbird. It just had too much of something in it that I just didn't care for the smell of. So I did stop using that, and I did pass it along to my sister. It's more along the lines of her scent preference. So what can you do? I'm still trying to find dupes for the Estee Lauder Sensuous Nude too, because that was my favorite. There's still quite a bit left in that sample. I'm just reluctant to use it because it's expensive. So the rest of my products, we had Lala from ColourPop, which has not moved at all because I have not used this at all. Sugar was just in about the same state as it was in my last check-in, and same with the Fairy Dust highlighter from Profusion. Actually, while I've got this sitting here, because there was no progress on this, but once this is gone, I am going to start using this blush. It was part of an Ulta kit. I basically pulled it out and just put it into my Z palette here just to make it easier to use. But that's color. It might be a little dark, but it's getting warm here, as seen by the fact that I'm in a tank top. This should start to match me a little bit more the longer the sun is out. I do start to deepen up, and that should work a little bit better. So that's that. I forgot about this last time too. It's the Aussie Miracle Curls Cream Pudding. It's just a curl and wave and I know how to words, I promise. It is a curl and wave enhancer. It's just a curl cream. Oh my god, I can words, I promise. My god. It's free of sulfates, parabens, and dyes. You guys can kind of see in there, I have used this a bit. The only problem is the more I'm reading up on how to actually take care of my hair, because this is not a good representation of the type of hair I have, but my hair is actually really wavy, and in the last couple of years I've lost some of that wave definition, and I'm trying to get it back. I'm not curly by any means, but I'm definitely a lot of wave. This is supposed to help that, but I've been reading up, and dimethicone apparently is a thing that I should be avoiding in my hair as far as like heavy silicones. Dimethicone is the second ingredient on this. So I'm really just trying to kind of use this up and just chuck it and kind of trying to do an overhaul of my hair products. So I'm trying to get through this. It's just you don't use a lot of it at a time. It's just, it's slow going. It smells great though. Yeah, it's the one thing I can say about it, that I've been enjoying using it because it smells really, really lovely. It's a little bit like strawberries. Not quite that artificial strawberry smell, but just almost like fresh strawberry smell. And I'm really enjoying that part of it, but I don't use a lot of it for my hair, and it's just slow moving. I don't have, I'm all over the place, I'm sorry. I'm talking about adding stuff in already. But so I'm adding in the Ulta blush. That was all I had as far as progress, but adding in the Ulta blush into the project once my L'Oreal blush is gone. Now that I am eliminating the collab concealer, I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy about this because I can finally go back to using a liquid concealer. This is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. I do really like this. It's a little light for me currently, so using this a little bit underneath should kind of help mellow it out. This is in the shade, oh god, I swear I can talk. This is just kind of the state I've been existing in for a month. I can barely form words. I'm tired. I don't know why. Just April was kind of exhausting for me, and I don't really understand why. But this is in the shade Light Peach, which is almost to my shade. It's almost my color. It's just a touch lighter than it needs to be. Not bad, but you know, enough that when I just put it on by itself, it's got good coverage, but as you can see, it is lighter than the skin on my face. So we're adding that in to pair with this. The only thing I'm concerned about panning is this. I just want to kind of play around with this and see how I enjoy this. I've worn it a handful of times since I bought it, because I took it with me when I went home to visit, and I was enjoying that a lot more than my Collab concealer. It just sat better, performed better, and that's really what I need out of my concealer. I didn't have to worry about it so much. I didn't walk around wondering if it was breaking up on me. But we're gonna give it some time and see if I actually do enjoy it, and we'll check in with that again in the next check-in. But the last thing I'm adding in, I believe, I'm just trying to look around real quick, make sure that that's all I'm adding in. But what I'm adding in is this. This is the French Lavender and Honey body lotion from Bath & Body Works. I enjoy this scent quite a bit. It's now warming up. Mentioned before, I live in the American South, so I am in North Carolina, and it was 85 today, I believe. That's Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that translates to in Celsius, but it was stinking hot today. But this is definitely more of a hot weather scent. It is lighter, it's a little floral. It just wears better in the summertime than the Cashmere Glow does. Cashmere Glow is just a little too heavy. So I'm pushing myself to finish up the Cashmere Glow, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start in on this. My last Bath & Body Works lotion that I will be using until the fall. The other one I have has a lot of bergamot in it, and it's a lighter piney bergamot scent, and it's just better suited for the fall and the winter. What are you doing, Goober? You wanna come say hi? Okay. So this is one of our little boogers. This is Lucy. This is the one that I was saying likes to hang out in the window. She doesn't actually like being picked up all that much. But she's been kind of walking around me and yelling at me because I'm not paying attention to her. I'm paying attention to seemingly nothing. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting so easily distracted today. So Cashmere Glow, French Lavender and Honey. The other one I have is First Snow from Bath & Body. As I was saying, it's pretty. It's just a piney bergamot smell that's better suited for winter. So those are going to be put aside. I'm going to actually go through and actually right after this, I'm going to go through and collect all of my body products and kind of inventory, and sit down and do an inventory video, show you guys like what I have, how much of everything I have, and what will be going into my project pan. Shouldn't take very long, but okay. I actually think this is the shortest check-in I have done because I am so scattered that I am trying to just get through it very quickly. Again, this is actually going to be a more permanent setup, so this is actually the backdrop you guys are going to see now in my videos. It's going to change a little bit as I'm cleaning, but my bookcase in the back here should always be there and lit up like that. It's just got some string lights on it. My plant's up on the top there. Okay, you can't see that one, but you can see this one. This one's going to stay inside, but I do have a spider plant that's on there as well. Those are going to be moving around also. So if they show up and then they aren't there one day, they become outdoor plants once it starts getting nicer out. They just thrive better outside. But just give you guys an idea of what's going on around here, like that side table, that end table right here. Oh my god, I'm gonna get better at doing this, I promise. So this end table here should be a little cleaner by the next video as well. But yeah, this is the easily distracted partially because of this. I've been in cleaning mode, so that is the last little bits of stuff that I have for the check-in. You guys may not see half of this, who knows. But that's it for my May check-in. I will see you guys in my next, either my next check-in or my next video. Bye guys.